Very good to have you with us this morning. Right, so it's quite a long meeting, couple of days for each topic, especially governance issues, which is important. Let's talk about Tito Mboweni's paper now. How's that going to be handled, do you think?
Well, the release of the document sparked what I can call a response from the usual suspect, a peculiar response from the usual suspects. The SACP,
we were left out of consultations.
Exactly, the SACP and COSATU, but they are part of the alliance partners. So I think that when they go into this NEC, they will be able to strike a consensus around this. Look, there's not going to be a full unanimous agreement on this document. Of course, it talks about intervention mechanism that the left in South Africa do not like. It talks about the possibility of privatizing ESCOM and relieving the state of some of the responsibilities, the fiscal responsibility relating to state-owned entities. Those are things that the unions don't like. But it doesn't mean that you are going to have to throw the document out of the window. It actually says that they need to be attempt at a consensus on this. There are certain things that they should agree upon so that they can get rolling. I mean, the investment community is looking at a sense of urgency at the policy machinery. So the longer they drag on this, the longer they refuse to gravitate towards some of the things that they could implement in that document, the more it's going to have a sense of uncertainty out there within the market.
I mean, they know that, we know that, but they're still incapable of coming up with one policy, aren't they? So, I mean, I'm just wondering what has possibly changed to allow that to happen. Have there been any changes?
It is the reality on the ground should call upon a sense of urgency on the policy.
You would think.
I would imagine that because, I mean, when I look at the figures that are coming out, the Reserve Bank has left the interest rate as it is, which also says that your economy is partially depressed or could be depressed. So you really need urgent intervention mechanism. I mean, most of the times you speak to stakeholders in this area, in this economic area, you speak to the rating agencies, you speak to people who are interested, the fund managers. All that they're talking about mostly is to say, why can't we see action? Even if it's just to show that government is in tune with the people regarding a sense of agency on what needs to be done with the economy. Why can't we see that? And I think...
Because we might see action from them. I mean, you know, if after Tito Mboweni's pronouncements later in the month, I mean, we could be downgraded to junk status.
I hope not. We have been placed on negative review. We have not been downgraded so far recently by your Moody's and so forth. They still believe that we can gravitate towards a consensus when it comes to what to implement. We are not there yet, but we are running out of space, no doubt about it. We are running out of space. The longer you take in responding to this, I mean, I was very interesting. I had someone whom I say is from the leftist side, and Tula Singhnesi, the Minister of Labour, SACP, he was actually saying that there is no need for further rhetoric on this thing. We need a sense of urgency. So it's time to be seen as to whether this administration can be able to marshal different constituencies, particularly within the alliance partners, because this is not where you expect a disagreement. At least deal with disagreements outside. But within the alliance partners, I think you can sit down, lock those people in a room and say that, fine, we disagree on a lot of things, but can we pick 3 or 4 things that we need to do now so that we can demonstrate that we are aware of what is going on across the nation in terms of the economy.
Wouldn't that be good? All right, 2 days is devoted to local governance. I mean, it's a disaster under the ANC. Yeah. I'm just wondering if 2 days is enough.
I mean, it's a crisis. Local government is a crisis. The state of delivery at local government. And also, if you look at how poor performance at local government as well link with some of the social concerns. You are uprising. You are the discontent that can express itself in the form of xenophobic attacks and all of this. Local government is a scene for expression of those. And for me, I think it's long overdue. 2 days is not enough, but it's long overdue. You need to declare crisis at local government and find a way in which you can actually rein in some of the local political chiefs so that you are saying to them that, look, I understand this is your TAF as local government. Remember, there is also the question of TAFs there. I mean, as much as you have a central government, we have a decentralized system to a point where once you get to local government, there are power brokers that make it very difficult to come up with some of the intervention mechanism to resolve this. But I think that the NC at national level, being the governing party, they have to take a strong position and say that, look, we have allowed you to play around at local government. We have allowed you to express yourself at that level of autonomy. But now we think that things are out of control. We need a plan to rein in local government. You really need that. You can never get it right at national government level if you don't sort out local government. It's the most immediate form of government.
Correct. Thank you. Now, when we continue, thank you for that, Rolf, we'll be joined by the ANC's Phule Mabe. Stay with the South African Morning.